Hey, y'all from Tennessee. Welcome to the State and Beal podcast. This is the place where we celebrate Tennessee. Yes, Tennessee, the volunteer state, the Big Bend state, the hog and hominy state. On this show, we love Tennessee from State Street in Bristol to Beale Street in Memphis, with apologies to Mountain City. My name is Toby Sells. I've called this great state home all my life. I've been a newspaper reporter for a long time, so I've had a front row seat to Tennessee all those years, and I am still loving it. This show is about Tennessee culture, what it means to be a Tennessean, and how we live our lives. So it's a lifestyle show. We'll talk about people and places, food, the outdoors, crafts, home and garden, fashion, events, and anything that makes Tennessee, Tennessee. We will not talk about politics, religion, or money. There are plenty of other places to get all of that. Alright, well that's what this show is about, and if you like that, you found the right place. I hope State and Beal makes you love to live in Tennessee, or if you don't live here, it makes you long to be in Tennessee. You can go check out my website, stateandbeal.com. There's some stuff over there, more stuff coming soon. Drop me your email address, and I will keep you up to date on what's going on with the show. In the meantime, please follow State and Beal wherever you get podcasts for a brand new episode each and every week. Now this week I do have some good Tennessee music to share with you. You're hearing it right now. This is a brand new single called History from Natalie Murphy. She is a Minnesota-born, Middle Tennessee-based singer, songwriter, fiddle player, horse rider, equestrian horse rider, world traveler, and all-around great buckaroo. You can find this single and all of Natalie's music on just about every streaming service out there. Certainly Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, YouTube, and all the rest. Just go look up Natalie, N-A-T-A-L-I-E, Murphy. Subscribe to it, give it a like. You'll be glad you did. I'll have the link to this single over in the description. And if you want to hear the whole song, I'm going to play it all at the end of the episode. Stick around. If you have some Tennessee music you wouldn't mind to let us use on the show, I would sure be obliged to you. Send a link to Toby, T-O-B-Y, at stateandbeal.com, and I'll get your stuff on right here, and may even send you a Tennessee quarter in the mail. This show today is about two little words that have been punching pretty big in Tennessee recently: hot slaw. That's right, hot slaw. It's on its way to becoming an official state food. Right now, the only official recognized state foods are milk and tomatoes, okay? Hot slaw hails from Cleveland, Tennessee, where it's been as ever-present as barbecue in Memphis or hot chicken in Nashville. It is getting the spotlight now, but locals have eaten hot slaw for forever and have officially celebrated hot slaw for the last few years with the Hot Slaw and Art Y'all Festival. Officials are gearing up for the festival's return this year on April 6th from noon to 8 p.m. Now, I wanted to know more, so I got the phone book out, found a name and a number, and that's what the show is today, folks. Let's talk hot slaw today on State and Beal. All right, folks, I've got Melissa Allie Woody here. She is the Vice President of Tourism Development with the Cleveland Bradley Chamber of Commerce. Melissa, welcome to the show.
Hey, Toby, thank you so much. Glad to be here.
Thank you for being here. Now, like I said, I'm a news reporter. First time I heard about hot slaw was in a House committee room of all places. Brought it to the floor to become maybe a state food, and people need to realize not the state food, but a state food. Folks we get hung up on that in Tennessee, and I understand why. But that was the first time I heard about hot slaw. I started looking it up. I found the Hot Slaw Festival that's coming up. Y'all have done it in the past. You have one coming up in April. Maybe you can, Melissa, just get started. How did hot slaw become a big dish around Cleveland?
Okay. Well, it started way back when the Starview Drive-In movie theater was in its heyday here in Cleveland. And it's no longer standing, but it was the big hot spot. And there was a concession stand at the Starview Drive-In, and one of their big specialties was hot slaw. And so for folks who don't know what hot slaw is, it's kind of like coleslaw, only it's got yellow mustard and a little pepper kick to it. Now, a lot of people have their different recipes, their variations, and what the funny thing is, a lot of people will say, "Oh, my papa used to make it at the concession stand at the Starview Drive-In," or "My mama's got that recipe." But the funny thing is, they're all different when you taste them. So,
Right, yeah.
it's kind of like a little legendary recipe, and everybody kind of thinks they have it. But I actually have the actual recipe
Oh,
because Brad Benton, his family owned the Starview Drive-In, and he is actually a local businessman here in Cleveland, and he's been on our chamber board. And Brad is a big family friend of ours, and he entrusted us with the recipe for the Starview hot slaw. But we have about 12 restaurants who carry it regularly on their menu. We have 5 grocery stores that stock it in their delis. So growing up here, I just thought that everybody knew what hot slaw was.
sure.
Yeah, so I didn't know that it wasn't everywhere. So back in it was around 2017 or 18. I will often host journalists here, travel journalists,
Uh-huh.
and I had a group of 14 travel journalists who specialized in culinary. So they were culinary journalists, and they were here visiting, and we were at our local watering hole, Jenkins
Mm-hmm.
Deli. And at the time, Jenkins didn't carry hot slaw on its menu, but we were talking about it. And I was shocked to find out that not one of those culinary journalists knew what I was talking about. And 2 of them I will excuse because they were from California and Canada.
Sure, yeah.
But the rest of those journalists were from the southern states. You had somebody from Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama, some Tennessee, all these places, and I was like, okay, y'all don't know what hot slaw is? What do you eat with your barbecue?
Right.
And so my friend who owned the restaurant went back and whipped them up a little bit of hot slaw just so they would know what I was talking about. So I realized that none of them knew what we were talking about. They were saying things like, "Do you heat it up?" And I was like, "No, no, no, no. The hot comes from the little bit of pepper sauce
Yeah.
and the jalapenos and so then we saw a magazine article in Garden and Gun magazine. I believe that was from 2019. My coworker Mary Tom Jenkins found this article, and it was entitled "Southern Slaw." And it pointed to Cleveland as the hot slaw hub, and it mentioned the Starview Drive-In Theater. So we started realizing, okay, this is a unique thing. I started asking everyone, okay, are you from here? Did you know what hot slaw was before you moved here? Nope, nope,
Yeah.
nope. Kept getting all these answers. My friend, Dwight Richardson, went to Missouri to a family reunion, and they had hot dogs, and he was wondering where the hot slaw was. And they didn't know what he was talking about. So we started thinking about, how can we highlight this? How can we claim this as our unique food item?
And what did you just started to embrace it, and how did you go about that?
So we talked to the city about celebrating this unique. And at first, when I started talking about it, I'm in tourism, so I want to find something that nobody else has. I mean, that's my win
Yeah.
is when I can find something that no one else has. And the city of Cleveland was looking at doing some kind of spring festival, and then we have a group here, a nonprofit arts group called Art is Here Partnership, and they were looking to somehow, team up with the city and do an arts festival. Well, anywhere USA can have an arts festival, and it would be fantastic, but nowhere in the whole world has a hot slaw and art y'all festival. So we
No.
just teamed this up with our unique side dish slash condiment, and so we have this very unique festival that is coming up in its 3rd year on April the 6th.
Yeah, I would say that you have the only hot slaw festival in the world, and it's right here in Tennessee. I want to back up just a little bit. How do you eat hot slaw? Is it a side dish? Is it a condiment? Is it both? What is it?
Well, it can be either. I eat it on a lot of stuff. I eat it on hot dogs, on barbecue sandwiches, just barbecue plates. Um, I eat it on chicken fingers.
Okay.
I eat it on. My daughter likes to dip just plain potato chips in it.
Oh yeah.
She loves that. And hamburgers. We have slaw burgers at some of our restaurants. So it's, I mean, really any way you want to eat it, you can, you can enjoy it.
Just
And there are different levels of heat, though. Food City is our major sponsor for our Hot Slaw and Art Y'all Festival. So they're the big batch sponsor
okay.
for our event, and their hot slaw is just a little bit hotter than some of the others in town. So they like to bring the heat.
Bring the heat.
Um, but we have a lot of different places. And on our website, hotslawfestival.com, you'll see a listing of restaurants and stores that you can get the hot slaw all year long. So, of course, we want everybody to enjoy the festival, but you can also enjoy hot slaw all year long in Cleveland.
Melissa, I've got that site pulled up right now. I'm looking at it. I won't go through the whole list, but when I say hot slaw is a thing out there and that it's carried widely there around Cleveland, you got 5 food trucks, 4 grocery stores, 3 general stores that carry it, and 15 restaurants have hot slaw on the menu. So, I mean, it's a thing. It's not like some niche thing that 1 or 2 places have it. It's all over the area. I think that is just really cool. And to also back up a little bit, you mentioned a guy you know out there that has the original hot slaw recipe. Can you share that? Can I put it in the show notes for folks, or is that a secret or what?
Well, I can share the ingredients.
Okay.
I know that the very first thing that it starts with is 50 pounds of cabbage.
We're making in bulk here, folks.
Yeah, so that is definitely the bulk recipe. So yeah, 50 pounds of cabbage and then 6 giant onions. Now, I usually prefer mine without onions. In addition to that cabbage and onions, it includes mayonnaise, yellow mustard, jalapeno hot peppers, and salt as desired. So
Excellent.
that's the Starview recipe. Now, my sister, and when anybody asks me, who makes your favorite hot slaw? They're thinking I'm going to say a business, and so
Hmm.
the safe answer for me, being the Chamber of Commerce representative, is my sister.
Yeah, absolutely.
My sister has my aunt's recipe that we had our whole lives growing up, and so my sister puts a little bit of Texas Pete
Oh
pepper
man,
sauce in hers, and probably a few less jalapenos, but hers is to die for.
just
Love
just
it.
hits the bullseye. And so I mentioned beforehand, hot slaw this year has been introduced by a resolution with the Tennessee General Assembly to become a state food in Tennessee. I looked it up, and the only state foods that we have right now are just categories, really. We have milk and tomatoes, and so far those are the only 2 state foods. And you would think, I mean, we've got a great culinary history here in Tennessee, but hot slaw is going to be the kind of the first big regional one, and I think it's been having a moment.
Definitely, definitely. That legislative action has been all the buzz around here, and actually, we're 2.5, 3 hours from Nashville, and we've seen that like all of the Nashville television stations have had stories on it. One of them actually said something about heating cabbage in a skillet, and I
There
was
you
like,
go.
"Oh no!" I was like, "No, no, no!"
Oh
So
no.
we got a real laugh out of that over here in southeast Tennessee, but yeah, I feel like we're definitely having a moment. I mean, the Atlanta Journal Constitution did a story about it.
Wow.
I'm talking with you right here,
Hmm.
Toby, about it. So we're really excited about all the attention that we're getting. And yes, we did get some negative attention because everybody was like, hot slaw. Other people in Tennessee, like outside of our
Mm-hmm.
community, were saying, what's hot slaw? How's that and our representative Kevin Raper, his answer was, I can't help it if I'm just the first one that thought of this.
That,
So we just happened to have a really smart legislator that decided that he would put that forth as and what he actually wanted to do. It started out as he wanted hot slaw. He wanted Cleveland to be named the hot slaw capital of Tennessee.
right.
But he found that before you can do that, you have to make hot slaw an official state food, and so he just followed the proper protocol for that, and pursued that it would be a state food. So I'm sure that we will have it followed by Memphis barbecue and Nashville hot chicken and all the great things that people make all over our wonderful state. But hot slaw happens to be the first official state food.
And what
Aside from those particular categories that you had stated.
right, milk and tomatoes, what I thought was pretty interesting. And these things, I mean, we have all kinds of state official everything. The ladder was named the official state tool, I think, last year, year before. We've got like 12 state songs, including there's a rap song and a bluegrass song and all kinds of other things going on. But yeah, hot slaw, I guarantee you're right. I guarantee next year, if we don't see barbecue, hot chicken, and some other stuff in there, that we'll have some legislators being accused of laying down on the job. Let's talk a little bit about the festival coming up. I know the dates. It's April 6th, I think so. So it's coming up. Did I get that date right?
Yeah,
Okay.
April 6th. We're kind of landing on that first Saturday in April. You have to kind of name it and claim it when you're doing special events because everybody's got a little bit going on. So the festival is a linear festival. It goes down our first street and it kind of turns at our courthouse square and goes down Ocoee Street. And we have food vendors. They all are required. Any entree vendor is required to have hot slaw on their offerings. And then we'll have some vendors that have hot slaw samples. We do have art vendors all over that venue. At 2 o'clock, we have amateur and pro. So we have a pro-am slaw off in front of our courthouse. And last year and the year before, we had 10 folks. We take the first 10 to enter the slaw off as far as the amateurs go. And they bring their slaw. They enter for $50, but the prize is $500.
Wow.
And so we've had the same lady has won 2 years in a row. So and she's the first one to turn in her application for this year, Miss Donna Brown. And so we'll see if she can hold on to her crown this year. And then we also have any restaurant in town that carries hot slaw or food trucks that are involved in the festival can bring a sampling of their hot slaw and have it judged for a pro hot slaw off. And they get just a big obnoxious trophy to take back to their restaurant.
A big trophy and bragging rights. Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll keep an eye on Donna Brown too and see if she can hang on to the title, which is really really great. So Hot Slaw Festival coming up April 6th. You have a timer here on your website. It looks like that's in a little more than 30 days out there. So y'all put that on your Tennessee to-do list. Get down to Cleveland April 6th for the Hot Slaw and Art Y'all Festival.
Yep, that's right. And we have 3 stages of live music that are happening. It's a focus, of course, on our local artists. So we have some really great local bands, some great talents that are going to be displaying their great music and art there at the festival. We also have a chalk artist that drew a great mural last year, so he's going to be back doing that in the streets. We have pop-up dance mobs that happen, so it's really all about art. But then Hot Slaw is that funny little twist that we have that nobody else has. At 6 o'clock, there's a slaw dog eating contest.
Fun.
So that is a lot of fun, and it's very funny. So that's something to for sure check out.
Absolutely. Well, that is the Hot Slaw and Art Y'all Festival coming up in April out there. Melissa, before I let you go, what else is going on around Cleveland?
Oh gosh, we have we have a lot that's happening coming up in the spring and summer. Of course, rafting season starts in the county next to us. So the Ocoee River Gorge, we're just like 20 minutes away from the Ocoee River and all the whitewater that happens there. And that season starts mid-March and goes through mid-October. We have downtown concerts called Friday Festivals that happen in June. Every Friday in June, we have free concerts in in one of our parks. We in the fall we have another strange food festival called the International Cowpea Festival and Cook-Off, and that is Cowpea PEA because the little town of Charleston that's in our same county back in the 1800s was the cowpea capital of the world, growing so many cowpeas and different varieties that when the train came through, the railroad was completed in the mid-1850s. It was called the pea train, and because so many peas were exported out of this area. And so cowpea is the general name for black-eyed peas, purple hulls, silver hulls, field peas, crowder peas, all of those different varieties. And we have a lot of fun with that. The Cowpea Festival is always the second Saturday in September, and we're coming up on the 12th annual festival for that. For Hot Slaw, we're a young festival. Hot Slaw and Art Y'all will be 3 this year. So we try to find our unique aspects of our community, our sense of place for Cleveland, our sense of place for Charleston, and we want to share that with folks.
Melissa Woody, thank you so much for being on the show, and good luck with the Hot Slaw Festival.
Oh, thank you so much, Toby. We so appreciate it. I'm speaking to you on behalf of the 4 partnering agencies that put this festival on. So it's the City of Cleveland, Main Street Cleveland, the Cleveland Bradley Chamber of Commerce, and Artists Here Partnership. We welcome everyone to come to Cleveland, Tennessee, April 6th and beyond. So
Absolutely.
We'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again. Y'all get to Cleveland. Thank y'all so much for listening to this episode of State and Beal. Again, head out to Cleveland next month for the Hot Slaw and Art Y'all Festival. I have a link to the event over in the description box. Put it on your Tennessee to-do list. Big thanks to Melissa for giving us a Hot Slaw 101 today. Big thanks to Natalie for sharing her music with us. Thanks, Nat. As promised, keep listening here for the rest of her new single, History. All right, folks, that'll do it for this episode. Thanks again. We'll see you back here in Tennessee next week for more State and Beal.
We're supposed to go. Thought we'd always